I want to sit here right now for a few moments and continue my discussion with you, along with Jimmy here, about Ingsocs, the Ingsoc, English socialism from George Orwell's 1984, the idea of the mutability of the past. So this is kind of a part two, because I really want you to understand, 1984 is a textbook. I mean, it is literally a textbook of how to recognize totalitarian crap when you see and hear it. And let me just try to reinforce that. The rulers, the harsh, the brutal rulers of the society of 1984, not the cat here, the brutal rulers of the society had total control of all the information. Any information that anyone got, it got through the party. I mean, the main character, or one of the main characters, Winston Smith, he works at a place called the Ministry of Truth, which is actually dedicated to lies. So his job is to constantly revise history that's always changing for the party's benefit. So for example, if Big Brother awarded somebody for a great act and then this person turns out to be a traitor, he has to be, and was vaporized, becomes an unperson. That's a new speak word. Well, then what you're left with Big Brother honoring a traitor. So Winston Smith's job is to find another slob to put in that person's place, make up a whole story about that person, and then that person becomes part of the record, and that person becomes the receiver of the award, whatever, But the fact of the matter is, as Winston says in his diary, he has had to change history so much and use that mutability of the past, that the past can be changed. The past, according to this philosophy, the Ingsoc philosophy, the past isn't there. It can be changed all the time, updated, revised. So poor Winston doesn't even know what date it is. I mean, the book opens in April, and he's putting in a diary, an illegal diary, and he's trying to figure out. He doesn't even know what the date is. He says at one point, we can't even figure out within a year or two what the date is. All right, now, the Republican Party, once again, is adept at using Ingsoc's mutability of the past, what I've learned from 1984. So here's some examples. I remember, my memory of the Obama presidency has been something not, sure, he was not liberal enough, but he was enough so that everything got much, much better. I remember during the Bush years, or during any Republican years, that it was always rough, always bad. And I remember that this President Bush got us into a war with Iraq, which was a false war, a total false war, okay? He destroyed our economy with drippings economics. He bankrupted, the stock market tanked, all right? And he allowed the great big business bastards to throw people out of their homes in the housing crisis. I mean, I remember all of this. I remember, like, the empty stores, the people, people struggling. I remember and then, I remember I almost lost all the money I had in my TDA. See, this is all I remember. But according to these Republicans and this Adolf Trumpler, none of that happened. The housing crisis, nothing. It was caused by the Democrats. The Bush never did what he did. Everything was wonderful. Oh, what do you mean? Like Trump always says, I never made fun of a handicapped person, even though it's on camera. You see, they are very good at this mutability. The past is not there, can't be changed. In the philosophy of the totalitarian philosophy of Ingsoc, sorry about that, Jimmy. The past can be changed whenever you need it for your benefit, the benefit of your party, the ruling party. All right. The Republicans want us to think that there's fraud in our voting, and once again, every state controlled by Republicans, they're messing with people's right to vote. Every state controlled by Republicans are messing with women's right to choose. Look at Flint, Michigan. They're not going to deny that their policies didn't put lead poison, to poison the children, the people of Flint, Michigan. When you read 1984, you're doing more than just, leisurely reading a novel. You're learning something very, very important. Totalitarians are liars, and they'll do anything in their power to change the past, to change history, to change what are the facts, to suit themselves and their agenda. And in the novel 1984, the agenda is simply this: totalitarians are in power because of the fact that, you ready? They love power. Power is the main motivation. The gaining of it, the keeping of it, everything. Power for its own sake, power for itself. And nothing else matters but power. Okay? So the rest is part of Ingsoc philosophy, the mutability of the past, so that they constantly are changing the past to suit whatever agenda they have. And they do this with the warfare thing in 1984. And we're going to talk about that. The idea of doublethink. Again, the idea of mutability of the past. And the idea of doublethink. All of these things are part of how we are now in our society in many different ways. And a lot of what was predicted in 1984 has come true. But I just wanted to keep it just one point. The mutability of the past. To change, to revise the past so that you can use it for your benefit, to maintain your power over others, to make them suffer. To use your boot to stamp on their faces forever. And that's a line out of the novel. Picture the future, a boot stamping on a human face forever. Well, we have a week left of our democratic republic if that fascist dictator gets elected. So get ready for this ride, my friends. And just read 1984 and just put that into your mind and your heart. And don't let anyone change anything that you know to be true.